So I did a build for a series that I'm starting, and I'm going to kind of walk us through it. So here we go. My name is Kirsten, Civic Whipped. I'm building a little ranch, and the story here is that my character Tiffany, she grew up with a rich dad. He worked really hard to make the money that he made. And when she graduated college, he gifted her this ranch because she really liked horses and she was super into wellness. She went to school to like do wellness and yoga and teach and all of that stuff. So he built her this whole property, and she's more humble than he is, or he has raised her to be, because she went to college, she went off and did that thing. He kind of grew up from a rich family, but her mother's side of the family was more poor. They didn't have as much money as his side of the family had. So, yeah, this is me building her lot. This is on a 65 by 65 lot, and I kind of really struggled with this. I had like a house photo that was what I was going off of, but obviously you can't build everything in Sims to be like it is in real life. So the idea was this house that I was basing this off of was it had a two-car garage, but like obviously we don't have cars in Sims 4. So I decided that her home business would be out of the garage and she would have like a little yoga studio, meditation studio, whatever, like spa area. There's a sauna I put in there. There is a whole like teaching yoga area and meditation, and there's a massage table, and it's got its own entrance, and it's got, chill vibes. Like I didn't put any bright lights in there. It's got music, a public bathroom so nobody has to go into her actual house, a separate entrance that's going to be on the side. You'll see. But I did really struggle with this build because I was trying to make it as much like the other one that I was looking at as I possibly could. And the doors was hard. It was hard for me to pick the door. I literally cut this video from like almost 4 hours down. So you see I'll start putting a bunch of windows, and that's where I'm like, I think I want to put the door here for the yoga studio. And I do put a barn in the back because she has a horse. But when I was building this, I also started doing a whole lot of pink. Obviously, I like pink a lot. See, I enjoy pink a lot. But I wanted it kind of like, it has pink accents because obviously her dad picked everything out for it, but it's not all pink. And I had made it all pink. So I added stone here. What I was trying to do a little bit ago was the original house that I had, it was on like a slope. And so it had like a daylight basement style thing. And then it had a porch that came off the back on that first level. And then down below is where you actually had access out into the back of the yard and everything. Yeah, I'm not very good with the terrain tool, so I gave up on that. This is one level. I'll figure it out later when we need more than one bedroom. I also don't have laundry in my game. So I did put like a CC laundry room. You'll see towards the end. I do, since I started playing on PC, use a lot of CC. So this is me rebuilding the kitchen because as you could see, I did have pink stuff. I had done the whole living room and kitchen area pink. But I was like, oh, that's too much. So I went back and kind of wound it down. See, I kind of put some like basics and then little pops of pink everywhere, you know? I used to build builds in Sims, and my Sims were always like, my surroundings are boring. And I found out it's because I don't put pictures on the walls. So now I overly decorate the walls. And the photos on the walls don't always make sense, but that's okay. And I only put one bathroom in here. I'm probably gonna regret that. But like I said, we will figure out the more bedrooms when we get there. I want her to really be focused on building up her small business. And like she'll go out and have fun every once in a while. But she's not looking for anything serious with any guys or anything like that. But her dad does live down the road and he comes to visit quite a bit. And he's a little bit of a player, a serial romantic. So we will see him a lot. So I didn't want people to have to go through her bedroom to get into the one bathroom I put in here. So I did put that little bookcase door because I didn't want it to look like it was a Jack and, or is that what it's called? A Jack and Jill bathroom? Anyway, I didn't want it to look like it had two doors, but I wanted it to have two doors so that you could access through like the living area. I wanted to put a shower and a bath, but I picked this bath because I felt like it was more fitting for her style. And I couldn't make it fit with that other shower, and it didn't make sense to do a shower and this bath shower combo. So I ended up sticking with this shower. And again, just cluttering the walls in no way that makes sense, to be honest. I am coming from an Xbox, and so building on a PC versus building on an Xbox is way different. And so I'm getting used to building and like the controls and the camera controls and all of that. So bear with me. This is my 5th build since I got my PC and started building and playing Sims on PC. So this is her little office. Again, I really struggled with like what I was gonna put in this house, so I did reuse a lot of stuff. So And then this is where the little laundry room goes. And it's not functional. It's all just easy. But maybe eventually I will make it real using Laundry Day. I just don't have Laundry Day in my game right now. Because again, I switched from Xbox to PC, so I'm having to repurchase all of everything. So it's a slow moving process. But I really like Horse Ranch and Cats and Dogs. And I wanted my gameplay that I post here to be like family gameplay. So I also got like parenthood and growing together and then get to work and all of that stuff. Obviously businesses and hobbies. That's how we have this small business. So this is where I start building the spa. I did filter to only spa day stuff, which I think made it way harder than it needed to be. But I really love these mirrors. Before I started playing on PC and I was still playing on my Xbox, I had just built a small business in, what is it, Ravenwood, the life and death pack world. I had built one of my families, which originated in the, what is that pack with like the animals? Anyway, they had originated there, and then she got struck by lightning trying to take care of the llama and the cow and passed away. And so I had moved her to the life and death world. And then she had twins with the Grim Reaper. But anyway, the whole point of that is she had a at-home small business spa, and I love these mirrors. All right. We're back. I thought I edited this video down well, but apparently not. See, I kind of started to take like the overhead light, and I was like, I don't like that. I want it to be like a whole vibe. So I put a bunch of these lights in there. I was like, I don't know, do I like those walls? And I put this fridge in there, this little mini fridge thing. Tell me why, because I've recorded a couple of episodes of this before I got my mic and I was able to actually record this. But tell me why my sim goes in here all the time when she has a whole fridge in her kitchen just to get the ingredients for whatever she's cooking. That drives me nuts. Sims, man, they're wild. So I had put a garbage can on the other side, but I forgot that I did that. So I put like 4 outside garbage cans. And I'm stuck again. Okay. Maybe. There we go. These picnic tables with the umbrella, I put them in every single build at this point. I love that for like outside seating, especially when you have like a barbecue. Perfect. And then again, I was like, pink, you know? And I kind of like wound it down a little bit, but I really like pink. And so does my sim. So I felt like it was kind of perfect. See, there's the other garbage can I put at the front. So this is me building the barn. And this is just an attempt at like cutting it down. So I did cut quite a bit out of this video of this build because I was so indecisive. Like, I think it took me an hour itself just to build this barn. I don't know why, but I struggled so bad with the roof. I was like, can I just cheat it? Mm. No. So I wanted to add like a little outside area. There is going to be like a whole fenced in pasture area to the side behind the house, but I wanted to do like where they could come out of their stalls and eat outside because in Sims, stuff takes up so much space. And then, you know, you gotta fill up the feeders and stuff. So yeah, here's me building the little training area and pasture. And I do end up changing a couple of other things. But again, I was indecisive. I'm like, what should I make the barn? Black and white? Sure. And then I also in gameplay ended up adding a gate to the fence over there. So the part that I'm expanding, I did add a gate because for whatever reason, my horse had a hard time getting in and out. But you will see I place a bunch of like sheep and goats here in a little bit, and they had no problem with the other side. So I just left the other side without a gate. I was like, Now in reality, would that be behind the sliding door? Probably not. But it works in The Sims. It's not real. I think I ended up moving these little gates around as well. Now, what I've learned through gameplay is that having any more than like 2 horses is kind of rough. But also, I get super attached to my animals in Sims. So, we'll see. I have her have a horse when she moves in that I made in Cass. But the goal is to kind of rescue or buy our second horse. And I'm working on getting Hope, her horse that she has now, which I will do the whole Cass building her and the horse, and I do go in and do her dad, and I move him into a house in the neighborhood and stuff like that. I also would like for her to have a dog, but I was like, I don't want it to be overwhelming because I have a tendency of like doing too much and then I get overwhelmed and I don't want to play it anymore. You know, I just want to make a new family. But I do want to create a save file. I kind of worked on another one that I was going to make a series, and who knows, maybe I'll do those videos still. But every family in my save file kept getting knocked up. So I was like, I can't rotationally play this world, or I need to adjust my settings. I have no idea. They all just kept having babies. So I was like, let me start with one family, and then maybe I'll introduce some other families, or I'll play with the families that are already in the world. So over there in the corner where you see the water tower, I originally was trying to put like a windmill with debug, but it was not working. And then I did want this to still be a driveway because again, I wanted it to be semi-realistic. And then I wanted, you know, the patio in front of the business. And you'll see I add like a little sign and an entry to the driveway. That's gravel. I'll probably eventually do better with the terrain. When we play, you will see some of these like bushes clipping. So you can also see in the background there my horse balls that could have been said better. They're floating in the air. You see them back there? I put them on the second level on accident. So I will go back there and fix that. Look at how crazy those windows look. And I didn't even fix it. So here we go. I think this is where I go put the entrance in. I was like, oh, maybe I should put like one of these. I would like for her to garden, but again, I'm trying not to overwhelm myself. Cute little entry. Kind of helps separate the business. There you go. Hopefully you liked it. I'm gonna do the cast building and stuff next. So I'm gonna show you like who Tiffany is, who her horse Hope is, and all of that fun stuff. So stick around with me and let's kind of build this save file together. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day.